Hey guys, Jalen from TBIInfinitey, and we got Jake.
Hello, I'm alive.
So we're going to be talking about evolution, mutation, and to affect the game when it comes out. What decks you might want to start thinking about? Just you probably should expect to see. Maybe some decks that you might be interested in, because there's a couple of new ways to play some older decks that they like. The set really feels like it's just like there's like one new archetype, and then there's a whole bunch of support for basically decks that like people were either on the fence about, or they were not sure if the decks had any more place in the meta. Personally, I find the set to be really poorly structured in terms of a product. Like, there is a vast majority of DDW. Like, it is a combination of two Japanese sets with two double decks, being the Fifth Omni versus Hunter Demon double deck,
Right.
and the Jack Knight versus Purgatory Knight double deck, along with the DDW character pack, similar to the two character packs that made Cross Generation, which was Dragon World, and Star Dragon World, which was Gao versus Kanata. But regardless,
It's almost like Triple D never left.
Well, I said Kanata. It's also character packs. We haven't had those since the beginning of the damn game.
Excuse me, sir. When you didn't have to say Kanata, because one of the double decks is, which do you like better, Chisuku Fuckboy or Chisuku Fuckboy?
I guess so.
Yep.
But in terms of like buying this as a product, like most of the triples are just like, I am guessing they're going to be insanely overpriced. Like, there's a ton of triples in this set. There's a ton of doubles in this set, and there's secret packs. Like, this horrible for people to get singles and anything in between, like boxes. Like, boxes, unless you're literally building like one or two of these DDW decks, you really shouldn't buy a box. Like, way more DDW. Like, I'm gonna screen share for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Buddy Spoiler's coverage of the set. They're not. It's not 100% accurate, because there's a couple of English cards that aren't on Buddy Spoiler yet. Like, we do have a Fifth Omni Drum reprint, but it's not like on their like world section of the set yet.
Right.
Because we had an English card today scanned with the English Fifth Omni Drum, which was confirmed triple rare. But like, look at this. In terms of like set, you have Dungeon World, Hero. Dragon World being like this minusculely small, not counting dual cards, which is at the top, and then Dungeon Hero. I mean, these three worlds are just because they're Hunter Demon cards that were in the double deck that got reprinted in the set. Right. Star Dragon World is 6 cards,
but they're all new and good.
They're all new, but in terms of reprints, we're gonna have original Aster, Star Guardian Jack, Alma, Luminous Blue.
But like, it's all good shit.
Yeah, it's all good. At least all the reprints are good. But regardless, like there's so minuscule compared to, like, literally look at DDW.
Hi.
This is a vast majority DDW for this set, so I feel like you really shouldn't. You should only invest in the singles if you're looking for just your Jack stuff, or you're building like just the new Fifth Omni stuff that you want to use, or like literally if you're building anything out of double deck except Purgs, then I really don't recommend buying the whole set, because you're probably going to get a majority of DDW. It's basically the equivalent of Buddy Rave, but it's way bigger in terms of the ratio between DDW versus like DDW / Hero World compared to the rest of the worlds that were in the set.
Yep.
like this is a vast majority like DDW, and you really should only build it if you're, I mean, like buy it if you're really gonna go for DDW. But regardless of that, adds basically like one basically new deck and just a whole lot of support for like the newer deck we have is Evil DD Dragons. I don't want to go into specifics here, but basically the entire point of the deck is this card, but it does focus on around the same premise. This kind of gets the point across. At DDW archetype finally with Ozzy and now Gaian / Kyoya.
Yep. Someone let him out of jail.
Actually being in DDW and not only stuck in Dragons Y, Ein, etc. So it's an actual DDW archetype. I mean, yeah, you can play it in Dragon Ein and Dragons Y, but it will probably be the best used in DDW, and that's what it was designed for.
Even though every spell that's made for the archetype has the archetype in it, so why would I not just play Iron's Y? I mean,
because you have less cards in those decks, and then
more life.
This deck is also on its spells like Truth of Darkness, which is a triple rare again in the set. Is a really good card for the deck.
Yep.
It gives you draws, so when you destroy 2 or more cards in a turn, you can only activate one of them. But the whole point is the whole point of Evil DD Dragons is that they are based on destroying monsters in your opponent's field. Your opponent has to have no board, so you can do no monsters on board, so you can do anything. Without it, all your monsters have 0 crit.
Yep.
Have 0 crit, and they're searchable by the Nuza Hawk, who is into Soul. He gives them move, so it's an open center deck that really focuses on getting rid of your opponent's board, so you can go for high amounts of damage. Like they have that stand spell. Here it is. Like Armillary Sphere of Zusturstra. God, I'm horrible with this name. It has a 2-gauge call cost, but then cast cost. But the whole thing is like if there are no monsters on your opponent's board, you can cast it without paying the cast cost, and it counterstands an Evil DD Dragon, or EDD for short. So this entire deck is based on getting rid of your opponent's board, so you can go for high amounts of damage with and destroy their cards. Like basically to leave them without anything. It's like annihilation. Just like Kyoya's ability, he deals 3 damage at the end of battle if there's no monsters on your opponent's field, and you destroy a card.
You see, you know what's really weird? I love all the Kyoya decks. I love things with dragon in them, but I don't want this. I don't want anything to do with this.
Because it's entirely based on destroying opponent's monsters, and a lot of them are effects.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's such a cool concept, but something about this just turns me off. Like I love everything dragon.
It absolutely fucking sucks against decks like Prison Dragons, or say like DCE when they get Nukabu Plus and Soul, because you can't destroy them by monster effects. And since the majority of ways you're destroying by monster effects, like the second best, Aga Manaf, he destroys monsters on a monster on each attack phase at the start of it.
Right.
And he has double attack. The whole thing is you're supposed to pop a monster, and then if it's there's 2 more, you attack them twice and they're gone, and then you leave it to your item and maybe your 0. And then if it's usually what is the little guy? What was once Bad Egg, but now it's Shimnu. He gives you a draw, basically like a Flurfang SD when a monster is destroyed. So except this is a named ability, unlike Flurfang SD. And all Evil DD Dragons except Kyoya, they get a crit when there's no monsters on your opponent's board. Their item is basically their Mara Blade SD, where it gives you a gauge of life when monsters destroyed. So they have a really good item and a really good monster pool so far. The deck is really not, and I would not say 100% competitively viable, because it's completely relying on getting rid of your opponent's board. So if they have things like, you know, shields or just in general, they can counter call monsters to throw off your attacks. Like literally, like if someone calls like, say, there was one example. Uses like void slap, removable voice in Black Dragons to counter call a Black Dragon. They can do that in the middle of you attacking for like, say, three. If like say they have an open board, 3 critical with Agamotov, they can literally just counter call Abigail, pop Agamonov's soul, and then now there's a monster, so you have 0 criticals. Now you have to go back to attacking the Abigail, which will then get rid of your Agamonov there and do nothing because you don't have any critical anymore. Like the deck has very clear-cut weaknesses.
Cool. I actually like that.
Executioner's got a small buff, a new Galgarios. He's basically like a much needed improvement on the original. Instead of doing getting penetrate off his ability or anything based on the drop zone setup, it's when the card attacks, both players mill 2, and the executioner player, whoever's playing this card, gets a gauge, and then your opponent has 25 or more cards in the drop. Then you deal 2 damage, and this card is double attack, so that can off a single attack you can do 4 damage. Off 2 attack you can do 8 damage. That is the max, but I'm just saying that's possible. And it also brings up the fact that if they even nullify an attack, they're still taking 2 damage. So they're just still taking less damage by nullifying, but you're still getting the initial damage you wanted if you get that drop zone setup. This card's really good. I think it's a very viable 3 option for executioners. But regardless, the main thing that's going to be changing out of the set are Purgatory Knights and Black Dragons. Black Dragons,
right,
getting huge worthwhile changes. It's just after their new change to Black Dragon sets with XBTO2.
Right.
Mutation kind of course, expanding on it. But they have some worthwhile change. Where's that specific Abigail I'm trying to think of?
They're at the top, aren't they? Aren't they all at the top?
This is the one I was thinking of. Moment of Rest Abigail, where when it enters the field, you get top deck gauge, but if it's a Black Dragon set, you get another gauge. So it basically replaces Zakrown, which was used for the mill variant, but now you can actually use a monster that's more for the Black Dragon set variant, and that's what I'm saying. Like this,
and it can get off Dragon Force.
But too bad no one plays that anymore.
Oh wait, there was one card I liked because I remember reading it on Buddy Spoiler. I'm like, oh shit, this is coming back. Where's the fucking pumpkin guy? Pumpkinhead. What the fuck is that guy?
Oh yeah, Bone Labor right here.
Hooray for tokens!
Yeah, I was gonna go into this because Dev also got some little worthwhile changes, but at the same time, they're like weird to me. Like they're doing like Bone Labors mixed with Shadow Dive, so it's like I don't know if they're trying to make them more Bone Labor oriented, where you're using your opponent's shit mainly to attack them, or you're using something like this with Shadow Dive variant, putting something in the center, so if you're facing something like Dragon World, Danger World, anything with closed center open center shields, you kind of throw them off, and then they're forced to have a center, and then you can start Shadow Diving them.
Right. But still, it hasn't been since OG Set 2. Fuck yes, token monsters. Also, I've been wanting that for the longest time now, because I thought like every time they come out with a new deck based on Yu-Gi-Oh! Days, there's a small part of me that just wants them to make a deck based on doing shit with tokens. Like make some kind, I'm sorry, this is a very big tangent, but make some kind of deck that just spawns tokens, and depending on what size your token is, you can sacrifice it to get a bonus or something. Like make that a separate Black Dragon set deck or something. That'd be great. And the set spell dictates what bonus you get. Can we just yes?
That'd be certainly interesting.
Can we just yes? Oh wait, what the fuck? What the fuck is this Omnilord bitch? No, there's Omnilord bitch. Why he back?
Oh yeah, new Neagle Balls. He's basically supposed to be a bridge between the mill variant and now them trying to bring back Spectral Strike.
Can this but can this still really
he trades away? He's still got a 1 gauge call cost and he's an Omnilord, but the whole thing they changed with him, instead of having 2 crit, he has 1 crit double attack. And he, instead of destroying dealing damage based on your opponent's size, it's based on your critical, which can go either way. Like, depending on the monster you're destroying with this attack or by effects, you can really well if this effect are really worse compared to the card.
So I'm gonna say original Nugget
If you're facing like DCE, you're constantly probably only doing 2 damage at the most when destroying stuff.
I'm gonna be honest. I started teching one of a single card in every side into OG Negro Balls because so many people are playing Chaos and I want to burn for 30.
I mean, OG Negro Balls is fun for dealing with Chaos, but you can't destroy the Gear Gods by effects, so you have to attack it.
Bitch, I'm Dragon World and Star Dragon World. I'll fucking punch it.
Either way, the new Neagle Balls is mills based and deals damage based on the monster or items critical, so it can destroy you. So either can be destroyed and it gets its effect. So I mean, then again, 90% of items nowadays are being indestructible except like Drag Royale and just be like irrelevant to destroy like with this
so
effect.
Wait,
like,
it destroys on attacking,
destroying.
Right?
Anything on attack, it's just like Neagle Balls. Like if anything's destroyed, period, by attack or by effect, you get an effect.
Oh, I thought it was when it attacks, do the whole thing.
No. It's when a monster, or item on your opponent's field is destroyed, period.
That makes me sad because I thought this was a legit way to pop items for every deck in the game.
Boy, no.
Boy, please.
But we have generic cards for this.
That's true.
Anyway. Then for Def, like they have a really good new Gallows. It's a size 0 and it gives you a life and a draw whenever your Def deal damage. Okay. And it has Shadow Dive itself. And they're keeping the whole theme of having a lot of them having 0 powers so they can work with the pen that came out XBTO2. But Daredevil that happens to be in a main set that wasn't a promo originally, which is Daredevil Dark Prisoner. And he kind of works really well with this Gallows because his attack when he is attacking alone cannot be nullified or reduced.
Oh yeah, this is the generic. This is the generic Daredevil that doesn't actually like kill me inside.
But the thing with this is like it's just really really good with the new Gallows, of course. Right. And then there's another one that gives a gauge. So basically, if you have here it is, Death Rule or Iron Maiden. So whenever another death attacks, you get a gauge. The ability only activates once per turn. Basically, we literally combo this this new Daredevil with Iron Maiden and Gallows, and you basically have just a Dragon and Legend. Then if you do any more damage, then you basically.
I didn't know we were listening to death metal music.
The one nice thing also about this is basically it's like Yami-Gitsune, which also got a new form in this. But it's like Yami-Gitsune, but you don't lose your deaths after it. It's like they're still there, so if your opponent wants to deal with them, they have to attack them, or most people probably aren't going to be playing Hell River after because of space issues, or some might still play it regardless. Monsters, they don't want you to keep getting draws in life.
Excuse me, this is better than base Yami. Better.
I mean, a lot, dude. Original base Yami's been gone for a while. They replaced it with the Impact Monster one. Then there was the one that makes your opponent discard from Dragon Fighters.
This replaces all of those. Fuck that.
Okay, well, you're crazy. The Impact Monster is still better. The nice thing is that these destroy, so they actually help you proc off like the draw 3 spell and other things.
Yep.
But back on track, Purgatory Knights also got like insanely big buffs. It would be hard to just not go over a lot of cards that helped out, but the main one that really changed everything was Demios Geist. whatever.
Yeah, this thing makes me sad.
This thing is fucking amazing. Like, I don't even know how this even fucking got, like, things just busted in my eyes.
It is.
Like, it's free to call. They replaced, like, oh, okay, it doesn't have 3K defense, it has 1K. Boy, no one cares. And it counter destroy just like Demios, but on either turn, you can counter destroy a monster. You can counter destroy a Purgatory Knight monster. And then you can choose one of 3 effects. Either stand, remember, all these are not once per turn. Can stand it like original Demios. Replace thinks it is.
Too much.
During either attack phase, you can destroy Purgatory Knight and draw. Or
counter draw, yay.
Or for the next time you would take damage, reduced by 3. So this thing is just, and also it says a Purgatory Knight monster, Purgatory Knight monster, so it can choose itself, like Inferno and Lord Demios. So all Demioses can kill themselves if they feel like it. They're all suicidal.
They've all been able to do that though the whole time.
No, not original Demios, and that's why. Like this,
okay.
Like original Demios, like that's also a triple rare in the set. Another reason I. Don't
but original Demios had no point to kill itself. I mean, like reasonably, yes, it could, but there was no point to.
Yeah, but the guy's Demios, basically the whole game plan is you can do whatever the hell you feel like you need to do. You want to go for damage, keep standing it. You feel like your opponent's about to kill with an attack and an effect, okay, kill it off, and then they can't, and then the next time they do you damage, as long as it's less than 3, you take nothing.
Or I could just, keep drawing because fuck you.
Well, it's only during the attack phase, so it's like, thank God that also says during the attack phase, because people would abuse this in the main phase, like kill itself, draw a card, then call Lord Demios. Like, no, that's not happening.
So Purgatory Knight Iron is coming back, guys? No.
No, no one cares for that. Everyone will just play DDW because you get a full hand, and then you have, like, better things to Pendulum. God, Pendulum.
Pendulum summon? What?
Ew, no, that's not in this game.
Thank God.
What is...
What the fuck is that thing with the Vita on it? The spell?
That's Endless Black. It's basically Death Grip as long as you have an open center. It's free.
That's gay. Oh, hey. It's Holocaust Punisher. Holocaust Punisher. And an Aussie Impact. Fucking finally.
Wait, what?
An Impact thing relating to Aussie. Why did it take this long?
It's for Evil Deity Dragon, and it's actually really good.
I don't give a fuck. Why did it take this long?
He still doesn't have an impact monster. Seriously. No, I know this is no, that's Pendulum. Oh, I'm thinking of Grudge Arrow. Where the hell is Grudge Arrow? I think this is Grudge Arrow. Yeah.
Size 0 is so cute.
Monster is absolutely amazing. As long as it's destroyed by an effect, you can add an item to your hand. And if you don't have an item equipped, you can just equip it from deck. It is literally the equivalent of the Oni Assassin Plague Demon, or whatever his name is again, that literally does the same thing, but he does it on raid, while this just, if you kill it by an effect, period. Like, if your opponent kills it by an effect, if you kill it by an effect, it doesn't matter. As long as it's destroyed by an effect, you just equip it if you just...
calls Grudge Arrow to the right, calls any Demios to the left. Do you breathe? Get an item.
And Needle Claw, the boomerang of the deck. So you call that full field. You call that full field, and then you can get your new item, which is a Purgatory Knight item, which does matter for other reasons, but I'm not going to go in extreme detail. This equates to giving you a draw when a Purgatory Knight's destroyed. It's only activates once per turn, thank the Lord. And it gives 3,000 to any Purgatory Knight for the turn.
So basically, Purgatory Knights can draw out their anus now?
Yeah, like, honestly, you can technically draw 3 with 1 destruction, which is literally if you use Geist's ability to draw while destroying an evil group while having that card equipped. 3 off killing 1 card.
Yep.
Thank the Lord the search card is garbage.
All right, they're all white dragons, not black dragons. I just remember that. I thought the black dragon search.
I was talking about Knights of Blood Oath.
I know.
out of all the other like recurring new stuff for DW, Def, we've already gone to Purgatory Knights, Black Dragons. Also got a pretty few worthwhile changes, which I really like about the deck. It wasn't horrible as everyone wrote it out to be, but I didn't think it was good. But now it's looking pretty usable, pretty nice. We got new Talika, which basically sacrifices the huge defensive playstyle of Talika to replace it with a huge offensive playstyle with Def Talika Regalia, where Yami Ghetto Call basically put one or more deeps instead of 100 demon into underfield into this card. Soul 3 gauge and put four deeps and then put them at the bottom and then stand it. So soul guard unlike every other Talika, but it doesn't get a shit ton of soul. So good.
Wait, I just realized something. The way this is worded, you're not calling it on top of a thing.
Yeah, they don't want you literally stacking a Talika with like a fuck ton of soul, then calling this on top. It's one or more. It's like once again like what is it? Ball Soleil. Like you don't even if you call it on the same position. Like say you have a Talika with a shit ton of soul and you think you're gonna get all that soul. No, you're just gonna.
Then why was I so afraid of this card? Jesus.
I mean, it's still dumb. I mean, good, not dumb necessarily. It's the fact that like you're instead of.
But how many deep things can you honestly put into the soul? 3.
I mean, people at an average can get 30 cards into get. Wait, no, I've seen the average is around 30
it's from
cards
the drop zone, not from the soul. I'm stupid.
Yeah, it's not from a soul. Then how are you gonna fucking make this work? No,
that's what I was thinking.
From drop zone. So
that's what I was thinking. Ugh.
So like I said, you're instead of being defensive regular Talika, Regalia lets you go in with damage, and as long as you have a drop zone set up, you're still getting stuff back.
Yep.
As much, but
so that's why
since it's 4 deep, just think about things in multiples of 4. So if you have 20 cards in drop, you have 5 attacks. That's 10 damage.
And that's why the Executioner's Gate in Cologne's deck makes me hate him. Free mills every goddamn turn. And Gauge. Don't forget.
And then Excel and got a reprint, so yeah.
What is that thing that looks like a giant gape eye thing? It was near Talika.
Near Talika. It looks like a gauge. Oh,
it says sample on it.
This is Def Gauge Timer.
No, it's on the bottom row of your screen right now. It says sample and has a lot of red on it. Next to Ozzy.
Oh, this?
Yeah. The fuck is that?
This is a new Black Dragon set. It's you literally get a Dragon Emperor Legend at the end of your opponent's turn if you have a Black Dragon monster.
That's gay. Allow me to get two draws, a life, and a gauge by breathing.
And one other important thing for Black Dragons is this insanely busted fucking card. Ganmar. It is size, power, all that critical, not mattering. It's literally a discard that does way too much. Counteract, if you have a Black Dragon set on your field, choose a card in your opponent's field, discard this card from your hand, for the turn, -5k and 3 critical.
That's gay.
So, you face that Neo Dragon's Y. You don't like them getting triple attack with that fucking EXA Dimension. They got a triple buster left in that soul. You're like, damn, this is going to hurt. Started a card for having a very simple card on your field that's searchable. And then just fucking turning that card off basically for the turn.
Yo. I want one.
I mean, if you play Invitation to Death Ground in your Ein, you can play this.
Yay.
I'm pretty sure Dragon Throw is not a Black Dragon, so that's no.
No, it is not. It's just a dragon.
But as for the DW decks, but outside of the DW decks, I don't think there's a lot of potential for the other decks that are.
But
I think there's plenty for Jack.
You want to be Savage? Call Tenbu.
Oh yeah, Savage Tenbu isn't going to do a whole lot. It'll be nice, but it's not going to do a whole lot of things. Like, it's basically more appropriated original.
It's not even called Savage Tenbu anymore. Fuck this card. The whole joke was that it was Savage.
Yeah. But I think Jackknife with Soul Aster and Justice Type being in one fucking deck, that's going to be hard for people to get over now. Like, now they have a monster, they can't remove the soul of. Thank God this deck still does not have an Ikaruga Plus or anything similar. Because, God, that deck would be dumb.
Yeah.
But, like, also you can't have the Jack's abilities nullified, so they can't get a one-way free card of getting out of, getting nullified. Like, say, like, you go Oberon, like, against the, Style of Justice deck, and then you just kill the Jack, and then it's like, well, shit, I don't have to worry about Style of Justice anymore. It's like Soul Aster helps you get around that. So it also just can't have its soul removed, so your opponent, like, I don't know, crazy enough, move your Jack to the center because you don't have and then they Rolling Stone you. It's like, no, they can't do that. They can destroy it, but they can't move on. So.
Right.
So I think Jackknife has a really good place in the meta. Evolution Mutation. Purgatory Knights, definitely, like, this deck came from, like, mid tier 2 to, like, just tier 1.5, directly tier 1. I feel like the deck still has the same problems, but a lot of them can be mitigated by basically Geist, like, just being such an incredibly versatile card.
Right.
Yeah. And just Grudge Arrow adding, like, item consistency, Dark Kaiserion being a great backup weapon, or just in general main weapon, depending on what you want to do or how you perceive your matchups. Because this card's flipping amazing. Like, I actually have a problem with this thing.
Right.
Just a call, doesn't matter. No one's calling this. Counteract during your turn. Well, the main important thing is that Soul Guard and ride top deck Soul into Gauge. Because they're basically using this as an item 90% of the time. During your turn, you may put a soul from a card on the field into the drop zone. If you do stand this card, this ability only activates once per turn. Let me make that clear. A card on the field. Field, your opponent's field. You're going against Thora, you don't want to fucking deal with attacking it over and over and over. Okay, attack it once, and then for your counter timing, since you rested it, just fucking remove the soul, stand it up, the attack's still going through, and if they don't have the spikes, you hit. If it's Quintessence, you got rid of 2 soul off 1 attack, and you still have another attack. Or
why
the
fuck is this like that?
Is that what
Is it that what it says on the card in English?
Yes.
It's blurry though.
It's blurry, but that's what it says.
Fuck.
Like, I can zoom in. We could look at this.
We actually not deal with this, please.
Trust me, I don't like it any more than you do, but it's a thing, and I'm okay with it now. But man, is this, when I first read this, I was like, this cannot be a thing. It is somewhat blurry, but I can see a card on the field.
Fuck.
Right here.
My life.
So it's basically Purgatory Knights, or just in general, if you feel like you're playing a DDW deck and you're like, man, my main problem is Thora. You play Dark Kaiserion. That's how you fucking deal with it.
I don't want to live anymore. Lay down, curl up, turn over, cry.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit went dead.
Try not to cry. Cry anyway.
100 Demons is another deck that, like, once again, not a lot of support. Like, really just all the double deck stuff for them.
So let's go over more. What's that Dragon World card? Dual. Oh, that's dual bots. Got right.
It's pretty meh.
The name sucks.
2 gauge to call. It can be destroyed, but if it is destroyed, you draw a card, and then at the beginning of your attack phase, you can give an opponent's gauge, and then if you have 4 less life, you deal 2 damage, and there's double attack. It's pretty meh.
Gay.
Not really good for bots. Same thing with Dark Athora. It's not really for Prism Dragons because it's not. It doesn't protect you itself, but hey, you don't take damage by effects, so it's basically half.
Fuck you. Excuse me, I would drop this first turn in my deck.
I mean, it might work for you. I mean, the whole point is...
It's a body that kills.
The nice thing about it, it has double attack Soul Guard. And at least it's like, hey, you can't be damaged by effects. See, I still would prefer if it just said it can't be destroyed by effects, but there's a silver lining to this. You don't take penetrate damage still, but you're not protected from things like Ibuki. You're protected from Ibuki's burn, but you're not protected from his main part of his effect, which is what is important. So if it just said can't be destroyed by effects, you wouldn't have to deal with Ibuki period again.
Right.
His destruction effect.
I would play 2 of this.
You're only getting the lesser of 2 evils. So it's like it's a good trade-off, but I'm not completely.
I see what you did there because it's also, a Dark Dragon card.
Its ability, Crystal Pain, is pretty damn good. You're making an opponent discard and they take a damage. So if you're into that burn and you want to mitigate your opponent's like shielding options, or just they're low on cards, or you want to make them start getting low on cards, or mitigate any draw spells they keep constantly using, then it's like this can help.
Yes, it can.
And it's a Thora, like 7/2/7, so it's all right. Demons, I don't know how to exactly assess them because they're not necessarily bad, but I think they're in the same boat they were before, even with quote-unquote new support, when 90% of this is just fucking reprints. Like, Great Fiend, again, for like, what, the 3rd time? Oyami Ghetto, or anyway, and it is still a pretty relevant card. Like, the burn's pretty, like, the Thundermind's still pretty damn broken. Like, you draw.
But you have Jack, and everybody loves Jack.
I mean, this Jack's weird. It's 1 gauge.
No, the way I see it is once the Dungeon Hero set drops, if you want to build a Jackknife deck, you play this and Demon Lord Jack, and you basically have like 2 pieces to a full like great card.
I mean, it's like, it's like 30, so that doesn't really help.
But they do the same thing. It's just besides Soul, where would you like the card to go? It's do you want it in your gauge or do you want it in your hand?
I see what you're going at.
Otherwise, they're literally the exact same card, but Demon Lord's 1 more gauge.
But like Kokoto Yamigeto, it's pretty alright. It destroys monsters. Its Thunder Mind is not once per turn. That is its saving grace.
Yeah, that
standard double type Soul Guard with pretty decently high stats. But like usual, they have a kind of, this is a boss monster deck, but their boss monster does not have a blanket protection effect. So you have to rely on this new spell, Evil Deity Sorcery, Ghetto Shoki, which you get to return some 100 demons back to your deck. It's pretty good counter. For this turn, all cards in your field can't be destroyed by effects. So that basically deals with your problem, but it's a spell. So you have to rely on drawing.
It also only lasts for the turn. So
it's for the turn. So it's not. So you have to kind of be reactionary with it, and you can't just have it all the time. I would prefer that this thing was like a set spell, and then like it had this like this part like as like or something, not like a regular spell, because then you use it once, and then if your opponent has stuff to do afterwards, then you're fucked.
Yep.
Like, also it lets you just nullify monsters' abilities, and it's basically a Dragon Force cancel for the second effect, but no one cares because
pretty much
it's not like unless you're literally trying to get past like a huge board full of like deal with at once. That effect's only pretty good.
Pretty much.
But the main thing I'm getting at this set is Black Dragons, Death, and Purgatory Knights are getting a well-adjusted boost that can put them to the forefront of the meta. I don't think they're gonna be amazing, but I don't think they're broken. I think they're just pretty damn good, and they're going to be able to shine. They can keep up with the other meta decks like, you know, Prisms and Onis and all those decks. You know, Dragons Y may be different. Black Dragons, I think, definitely can deal with it because protect their threes. They're more about getting a bunch of gauge to keep calling threes, and I think Black Dragons have enough disruption with destruction effects and just in general their nature of being able to, if they don't have blanket effects, completely deal with size threes, then on the deck.
Right.
Definitely has some good qualities now. Being able to mess with your opponent's center. Open center decks now have a problem with Shadow Dive for once, so they're gonna have to like worry about how to play the matchup.
Right.
And Purgatory Knights just basically this is a gross oversimplification, but the Thunder Empire of fucking DDW at this point.
Yes, they are.
Instead of having a Bots X Link type card, though, where there's one spell that helps you replenish all your stuff back,
they have one
card all-in-one. They have a monster that does it.
Which is gay as fuck.
Purgatory Knights Forever, which is kind of what they have, but that's drop zone getting back, and it still makes you take a damage. So it's not entirely free or anything like Bots X Link or Black Ritual or anything like those.
Right.
But overall, I think the set is changed the meta for the better.
Right.
Like what I like about X so far, so I still hate it, but X has been doing.
It's okay. Soon enough, it won't just be X. It'll be well. What was it called? The next season? XS or something.
I don't know. But X is really working on making more worlds up to now a certain high standard. Not necessarily everything's going to be great, everything's viable, everything's amazing. Nothing like that exists.
Right. Nothing. Except for Dragon Ball, that exists.
I mean, that always gets support, so that's always why it's always going to be viable.
Yep.
And until people want the decks to stop getting the Dragon Ball decks to stop getting support because they're like, other decks deserve it. I'm like, well, if people stop playing it so much, maybe they would listen.
Maybe.
Like them to stop making so much Dragon World support and stop playing so much Dragon World, and they won't feed your need for more Dragon World.
But now, everyone's got a Dragon Boner in this game.
What?
Everyone in this game has a Dragon Boner except for 100 Demon players. They like giant bugs.
Overall, I feel like the main decks that you should be looking out for, and maybe building, because I would not lie, this deck in the set has a lot of high rarity cards, and if you can get past that, you can build that won't completely destroy your wallet and still be pretty fun to play. And that would be Perks.
Right.
And I wouldn't say Black Dragons because you would still need to go back to the other set. So Evil Deity Dragons, I mean, they have unfortunately like I think 2 triple rares, which is like Egomanoff pack. But I doubt they're gonna be really high because Evil Deity Dragons aren't gonna probably be looked at as something like a threat. So
it's okay until they, top regionals when Austin Somers plays it. Calling it now.
Stop it. But like, I don't think even though they're high rare, they have a few high rarity cards that they're going to be really expensive because people are just going to undervalue it. Like Thunder Knight's Fawn, like the new Thunder Knight's Fawn was. Like people just immediately looked over it because they're like, Thunder Knights ain't shit. Then they won Toronto, and then everyone's like, oh shit.
Yup. Because why the fuck isn't everyone not playing Give Everything on Your Field double attack?
The real way to easily get off X-Link
Yep.
But in any fashion, I'm not touching the set mainly because I don't fucking care about anything in this because I don't play anything in this. But I still think it's an overall set. I think the support it's giving to certain decks is good. The product placement and the amount of high rarity shit that's needed for specific decks, and also the oversimplification of just making almost every good reprint double rare and above. Or you mean everything that like came out like from the double decks, double rare and above was a bad move. Like it's gonna alienate people from even giving a shit about wanting to rebuild their old decks that were on the shelf before to now, well, fuck, I could make them better again, but then I have to spend all this money. I invest in the boxes like a regular person, then I would not probably get my money's worth because there's so much jumbled up shit in this set.
Yep. Buddy Rave 2.0.
See, Buddy Rave, at least, like I said, it's the same advice I'm giving to Buddy Rave. I gave about Buddy Rave. If you're building Hero World, if you're building DDW in this case, if you're not, you should probably stick to singles. Singles will probably be high because a lot of the good shit is double rare and above. But less investment than getting multiple boxes and not getting your money's worth.
Yep. Once again, fuck Dark Kaiser.
I'm not going to invest into the set. There's nothing I personally need because I don't play anything used in this set. I feel bad for all the people that do need to fucking get the set because a lot of the shit is hella overpriced. I mean, it's probably going to be hella overpriced.
Yep.
Like, this fucker right here, this simple ass size 1 Demon's Rapier is a triple rare. This set, honestly, like, I can't imagine wanting to buy it. But overall, Drake, I know you have Jackknives, and
I have Jackknives. I want the Athra. I have the one Executioner card. Actually, no, fuck that Golgarias.
I know
it. I don't play the original Golgarias.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're freaking other like Hana changed it up. So I was about to say, I'm like, doesn't it still have original Golgarias in your thing? You can
no, I changed it to be like Devs, but a little different. So it doesn't play Golgarias anymore.
I mean, but this one does burn and it gives gauge back.
That's true. Fuck.
I'm only jokingly enticing you. You don't have to.
I know.
It's not like it's a well-needed card. It's just a good 3 if you want to play a 3.
But fuck Dark Azarion. Baby Ozzy is adorable. New Bad Egg is adorable. What the fuck is half the shit on here? And let's bring back tokens. I think I summed that up pretty well.
So if any of you are going to invest into the set, I would definitely recommend it. If you are looking to build a DDW deck, building a new one, fixing up an old one, I think it's a overall good set in what it's doing for the game. In terms of a product, I think it's absolute fucking trash in like the second to third worst.
But Jalen, in all honesty, everything that is not a base set has been trash for like the past year and a half.
Dragon Fighters is pretty fucking amazing.
Dragon Fighters is the one exception. Everybody gets one. Spider-Man's rule.
Also, that's also not that true because X Set 4 is a whole set. If it wasn't the triples, almost everything in that set was fucking trash.
Yep.
And like maybe like the night shit, but that's probably going to be replaced when we have the
D Set 4? You said X. That's why.
D Set 4. Damn, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
D Set 4 was pretty fucking bad, except for literally Farfang as the Marablade as the maybe Jet Black Gaito, and like one other triple. I think people were also fucking shitting their pants for in that set.
Yep. So for like the past year and a half, unless it's a base set, and even then, like they're all pretty shit. Anything.
Oh yeah, and then Zeta. But then everyone lost their fucking morale for that because they're like, I can't loop.
No, it wasn't even that you can't loop. It was also like
Jake, that was entirely the reason people started selling their deck, because literally no one wanted to give any shits about Zeta.
And then we walked.
Like, I can't insta win off getting a loop now.
And then we walked into a shop tournament and into Albany, and we both saw Element Zeta make top 4 and top 8. So fuck you.
That was not Albany. That was Newark, and literally that is because Spencer
I said Albany.
is a fucking.
I did say Albany.
Because Spencer is a fucking Hero World freak. He loves all of Hero World, and he has like almost all the decks, I'm pretty sure. Like,
yep.
And he's always trying to foil it out. I'm pretty sure he literally 90% foiled that Zeta deck. He was asking me literally beforehand about like the dude loves Hero World, so he test played the shit out of it. Also, he didn't face literally me or any other Prism Dragon, so he didn't get fucked out of top 8.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the other friend that was playing a similar deck, I beat him.
Ouch.
It's fucking awful for them. And that's the thing about Zeta. It's got fucking, I think, plenty of awful matchups. And that's why people didn't consider doing it until, like people didn't consider doing it in general, but Spencer and others gave it a chance because they're like, oh, it's early X set 1. Will like be playing like just simply like all the 3 main decks that came out of it,
right? And
then like maybe little DCE. So they're like, okay, we can deal with like half of those. This is a good idea.
Yep.
But regardless, I mean, in terms of the product, I still think Golden Buddy Pack is the worst. Golden Buddy Champion Box is like maybe second or third worst, and then this is like somewhere around there too.
Yep.
Like, in terms of products, like Golden Buddy Champion Box, $50 for 3 decks that already became obsolete when because of X set 4.
Yep.
And
D set 4, but yet
D set 4. Sorry, God, I'm so that
it's fine.
Mind so much.
Yes, you do.
And just in general, like as a product, like hey, here's 1 buddy rare per deck. Everything looks like common garbage.
When they had the coolest foils in Japan.
They had 3 triple rares or 4. I was like, boy, what the fuck? But yeah, just to reiterate one last time before we go off. Fifth Omni, Jackknife, or just retouching up on what was it, like Def? Yes. Don't buy this set by singles. If you're building Evil Deity Dragons, Black Dragons, Purgatory Knights, and I say you definitely should invest into the set.
Word.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you can stick around on the channel by subscribing, hitting that bell icon when you want to see when anything gets uploaded. We're definitely going to be covering the set, of course. Have deck profiles, maybe a box opening. I think Dev said he was going to be buying a box probably because building pergs and has a something else. Def. You're probably going to be seeing deck profiles from him, and probably a box opening. So stick around for that, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.